Alright you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chelsea aka Capricorn Sims, and today's video is going to be a little different. So today I am introducing a new type of video, and these videos are going to be called Behind the Saige. So the idea of these videos is so that we can just get a more behind the scenes look at some things, whether it's episode recaps, more deep dives into the characters, but today's video is going to be a character background storyline recap for the whole series. Before we continue, I just want to say, if you see me looking to the side over here, it's because I'm looking at myself because I'm not used to filming myself. And if you see me looking down, it's because I've written notes. This this video is not meant to be long. It's just going to be a very quick crash course recap of everything leading up to the current moment that we are at in the voiceover series. So I decided to do this type of video because I'm aware that a lot of my newer subscribers are really only tuning into the voiceover series, and they might not know the full background of the whole thing of like all the characters. And I'm aware that some people might not even want to go back and watch the LP series. So without further ado, we're just going to get right into this crash course recap of the Teagan Saige series dating all the way back to the LP. So to start this video, we're going to start off with Teagan Saige. She is the title character. Teagan is a singer-songwriter from Oasis Springs. She grew up with her sister Phoenix and their parents, August and Sandra, who are now retired at this point. Her childhood best friends are Harrison Stallings and Vivian Watts. She briefly dated Harrison, but things ended after he repeatedly cheated. They've since rebuilt a friendship though. At this point in the story, they had broken up but rebuilt their friendship. Harrison now runs Harrison's Bar and Lounge, which is a front for his drug operation, and he also dabbles in music. Vivian is a PR agent for Capricorn Entertainment. At the time when the series just started, she was just Teagan's manager really, and then I kind of turned her into a PR agent. And then the trio moved to San Machinima after high school to pursue their careers. So now we're gonna get into the start of the LP, because I started the LP with everyone living in San Machinima. So Harrison's Lounge became a hotspot thanks to celebrity clients like Teagan, Atlas Drake, and Amari Boston. Harrison and Atlas clicked immediately, but Harrison and Amari always clashed. Harrison sees Amari as fake, and Amari thinks Harrison tries too hard to be tough. Early on, Teagan was actually flirting with the idea, and I mention this all the time in the Facebook groups and in the Discord, but my intentions for Teagan was for her to date both men, and I'm talking about Harrison and Amari, but she unexpectedly got pregnant with Amari, and that kind of changed the whole storyline around. And that's also what kind of made me turn the whole thing into a voiceover series, because the Sims, y'all know how the Sims do. It'd be taking over your whole storyline. So her relationship with Amari became serious, and then around this time, Phoenix, Teagan's older sister, also started to become friends with Alea Poole, and then eventually they considered each other close friends. So obviously, Teagan and Amari were happy about the pregnancy. Crazy enough, Phoenix wasn't so thrilled about the pregnancy at first, but she came around. Harrison, however, was bitter. He believed he and Teagan were meant to be. His whole thought process was he's just gonna, have fun, live his young adult life, and then when he's ready, Teagan's gonna be there. Obviously, that didn't work out that way. And he also felt that since he funded her career, like he paid for a lot of her studio time when she was first starting out, he felt like he was entitled to her, essentially. So Harrison, knowing Amari's background and Amari's reputation, orchestrated a party where Amari was caught cheating with groupie Sierra Rogers. Teagan decided to stay after the scandal and work things out. Meanwhile, it was revealed that Harrison was secretly sleeping with Alea. This is messy because, as you guys know, like I told you guys just now, Teagan and Harrison are exes. Phoenix was friends with, or Alea and Phoenix are friends. It's just not really a good look. So this caused Phoenix to end her relationship or her friendship with Alea because it was just too messy. So eventually Amari proposed as a way to make up for the scandal. Soon after, Teagan got pregnant with their second daughter, Alba. They kept their pregnancy private until birth. During this time, Harrison publicly exposed Atlas's secret baby with Kennedy. So at this point in the story, Atlas and Phoenix were together. They were dating this whole time, albeit it was kind of like a rocky type of relationship, but they were dating. And Harrison revealed this in his infamous Twitter rant. If you guys have been with me since I've been posting in the Facebook groups, then you know that I literally used to post like every press related topic to the Facebook groups. So if you're not a part of the Facebook groups, you guys should really join. So this news broke Phoenix and Atlas up. Phoenix broke up with Atlas, and Alea ended things with Harrison over this leak because, again, nobody was really supposed to know that Kennedy and Atlas were expecting a baby. Alea just thought it was shady because you're really revealing stuff about my family all because you're upset because you want to be with Teagan, but we're supposed to be together? No. So Alea ended up ending things with Harrison as well. Harrison then went on to date Sierra, who became pregnant with his son Cole. Viewers speculated it was all revenge. Harrison's constant talk about Teagan in the media led to a fight with Amari, causing Teagan to cut Harrison off. So at this point in the LP series, any chance that Harrison and Sierra could get, they would mention Teagan and Amari. And also throughout the whole of their relationship, Harrison and Sierra would cheat on each other. So a lot of the viewers kind of believe that their whole thing was like a business transaction anyway, that it wasn't even really a real relationship. But I digress. So after Amari and Teagan got married, Teagan and Amari moved to Breana Bay, where he joined the Buccaneers. They hired a nanny by the name of Soya Sullivan. Things seemed stable. Around this time, we meet Amari's younger sisters. And when I say meet, I mean like really get to know his sisters in their own separate LP that I had, which was obviously titled Logan and McKenna. McKenna seemingly seems to support Amari, but Logan is the wild one. And behind everyone's back, this is when Logan starts hooking up with Atlas. In their series, I didn't really get to get into it for real. I teased it, but whatever. I ended up just merging all the LPs into one. So at this point, Logan is hooking up with Atlas. Mind you, he's still with Kennedy, and at this point, they're raising their son, Preston. So that's just messy by itself. So then in the storyline, Teagan, Phoenix, Amari, Harrison, Alea, along with newcomers to the series, Jay, Nas, and Scarlett, all signed to Capricorn Entertainment. And this is thanks to Vivian, because again, Vivian knows all these celebrities and she kind of brokered the deal, which also got her position at Capricorn Entertainment. Atlas declined the offer due to low pay, and he just didn't really like the way that the contract was written, but he was offered a deal with Capricorn Entertainment. He just didn't take it. This is when Phoenix met Scarlett, and this is also when Teagan met Nas. So shortly after everyone is signed to Capricorn Entertainment, Amari starts cheating with Zoya, the nanny, and also with Tia Barron. So Tia Barron is a stripper from Copperdale. The visit to Copperdale actually ended up getting leaked to the press, and at this point, Teagan told Amari that they would be getting divorced because at this point, she doesn't know about Zoya at this point, but at this point, this is like your second cheating scandal and it's public. That's embarrassing. So she told him that they would be getting a divorce, but on her time, because her tour was starting and she really just didn't want to deal with the divorce during her tour. But she ended up moving out of their home in Breana Bay, and she ended up moving out and into a townhouse next to Nas. Amari began hiding out at Tia's house at this time as well, just to kind of hide from press whenever he didn't have the kids. So as the series goes on, Teagan and Nas grow close. Phoenix got involved with both Jay and Scarlett. Jay backed off though because he didn't really want to share Phoenix with Scarlett. And also it's revealed at this time that Scarlett is really wanting a real relationship with Phoenix, but Phoenix isn't really on that type of time at this particular moment. Scarlett is also the one that introduced Phoenix to drugs, and the media would catch Phoenix doing these drugs all the time because she's really not that good at hiding it. So also during this time, Amari starts to become possessive of Teagan because he's starting to notice that Teagan and Nas are growing closer, and he's kind of suspicious about the whole thing. So while Teagan is on tour and she's at her new Crest stop, Amari shows up and he basically, you know, is kind of just trying to gain control of the situation, and in his anger he reveals that he's having an affair with Zoya to hurt Teagan, but he doesn't know that Teagan has a little stash in the deck. So Teagan claps back and she admits that she had a little hookup with Nas, Really, she said that she slept with Nas. This wasn't necessarily true. They had not slept together. They had like a little hookup situation, but nobody slept with each other at this point. Amari reacted to this news violently and he punched her. He then fled to Tia's, and mind you, at this point in the story, Amari is now paying Tia's bills. So she advised him to file for divorce first. Again, she's trying to protect herself. So she's telling him to file for divorce first to help control the narrative and protect his Nike deal, because at this point he's in talks with Capricorn Entertainment about a Nike deal, and obviously they were offering a lot of money. Immediately after this, Teagan calls Zoya over to confront her about what Amari had told her. Zoya obviously lies. She's like, this is not even true. Like, I don't even know where you're getting this from. But ultimately, Teagan and Phoenix end up attacking Zoya, and immediately Zoya sues. So once the paperwork for that case came out, that exposed to viewers and people in the Teagan Saige cinematic universe that Teagan and Amari had been separated for months. So eventually news reaches Nas and Harrison about what Amari had done to Teagan. They confront him and jump Amari at the Capricorn Entertainment building while he's in a meeting with Capricorn. So after all this, meaning after the lawsuit comes out, after Amari files for divorce, Teagan went ahead and canceled her tour, and this was to manage the fallout of everything going on. She just felt like she really needed to focus on that and be there for her daughters. So now we're in the voiceover series timeline. I'm going to briefly go over that, obviously, just to make this recap a little bit more cohesive. But you guys probably know a little bit of this, so it'll be a little bit more brief. So in the voiceover series timeline, Teagan is back in talks with her lawyers. She's rekindled her friendship with Harrison at this point. And Harrison reveals that he's expecting a child with Alea and that him and Alea had got back together. Amari agrees to Teagan's divorce terms to keep his abuse under wraps. Basically, the abuse that he did to Teagan, he wants to keep that under wraps. He doesn't really want there to be too much discussion, so anything Teagan's asking for, he's just going to do it. Teagan went on Penny's perspective, so that's Penny Pizzazz's podcast, and this was to address Zoya's lawsuit. And inadvertently, she ends up clearing Amari's name because she claims that the bruise on her eye came from Zoya and not Amari. Basically, she's trying to paint the altercation between her and Zoya as a mutual fight, like they both were fighting each other, and basically trying to get away from the narrative that it's an attack. And she also denies Phoenix's involvement. So basically, Amari gets to skate clean because Teagan is basically just trying to protect herself, obviously, and also her sister. At this time, Amari also asked Zoya to drop the suit, but she refused. She feels like they shouldn't really get away with attacking her. Also, Zoya's lawyer told her they needed more evidence. Literally right after this meeting with the lawyer, Scarlett sees Zoya on the street, and at this point she's angry at Phoenix for rejecting a relationship. From Zoya and Scarlett's point of view, they're thinking that this is going to kill two birds with one stone. One, it'll help Zoya's case, and it'll embarrass Phoenix. But the leak has triggered a police investigation into Harrison's lounge. Meanwhile, Logan has discovered that Atlas is also hooking up with Vivian. She tries to blackmail him with a recording and reveals her pregnancy to him. Atlas tells her that she needs to get an abortion, and this is to avoid upsetting Kennedy, his girlfriend, and the mother of his child, and also to avoid upsetting Amari, who he's supposed to be friends with, but he's sleeping with his little sister. Logan then goes ahead and sends the video to Kennedy and Phoenix. This causes Kennedy to break up with Atlas on the spot. Phoenix really didn't care as much. She was just disappointed that Viv didn't tell her. This is a good point for me to tell you that in regards to the timeline, Logan and Atlas actually dated first. So their background is that they met way before the LP even starts. They went on a couple dates, it didn't really work out, and then Atlas started seeing Phoenix and they both agreed to just keep it under wraps. This little nugget of information is also something that Harrison revealed in his little Twitter rant that he did in the LP days. So as the divorce between Teagan and Amari is nearing its end, Amari shows up at the door of Teagan asking for one more chance. Teagan ends up letting him in and they hook up. When Nas asks about this, Teagan lies and she says that nothing happened. Nas chose to believe her but asked her to set firm boundaries with Amari, and that's pretty much where we are up until now. So there's actually a couple of characters that I do want to touch base on. The first one being Reece Watts. So Reece is a newer character. He's Vivian's cousin, and he is currently signed to Capricorn Entertainment. He's a professional basketball player, and he's currently a romantic interest for Phoenix. He was just introduced, but I feel like that's somebody that you guys should be aware of and watch out for. There's also the newest character, which is Mercedes Goodson. Mercedes is a brand liaison for Capricorn Entertainment, and Amari seems to be taking a little too much of an interest to her, so I want us to keep an eye on her as well. And then obviously we have Amari's henchmen, Dre, Demetri, and Clarence. I feel like those characters are some characters to kind of pay attention to as well. And then last but not least, obviously my sim self, which is Capricorn. She's the head of Capricorn Entertainment. She pulls the strings behind the scenes. She's managing artists, athletes, influencers, actresses, and actors. Her exact connection to Harrison is still under wraps, but obviously as the series goes on, I will be revealing that to you guys. So currently, obviously, that's kind of like a crash course on everything. If you guys want more in-depth, obviously, to the background, you guys would have to watch the LP series. But I just wanted to give you guys a video to look back on to kind of get a smooth background on all the characters if you're not wanting to watch the LP, because that might not be the type of content that you want to take in. On my channel, I like to foster a community of just conversation. I feel like conversation is what really keeps the story going. I love hearing what you guys think, y'all's theories, and there are a lot of different platforms that I use to connect with everyone. The one that I use the most currently is Discord. I'm on there literally 24/7. There, along with the other members in the Discord, we break down messy moments in real time. We tell stories about our personal lives sometimes. Like, it's just really a big group chat for real. And we also share, you know, CC finds, mod finds. The members inside of that Discord also share their sim stories, and that's also something that you can do on the Facebook group as well. I'm also always on there posting little screenshots, and the members on there are also always sharing their sim stories. If you're wanting to get early access to a lot of the content that you see, so obviously mainly it would be the episodes, be sure to join the Patreon. It's $3 a month, and for that you get exclusive sneak peeks. There's a lot of polls that kind of guide me in where to lead the story, so y'all's input really does matter. And then obviously you get the early access to the episodes. Now, when you are a Patreon member, you do get the opportunity to join watch parties in the Discord. So basically what I do, which is kind of like a new thing that I've been doing, is I started off with playing music, obviously about 10-15 minutes before the episode starts. I play some music, get everybody in the mood, get everybody hype. Then we watch the episodes together as a group, and we're chatting in there, and it's super fun. Like, it's super fun. You guys just have to join. You guys have to believe me. You guys have to trust me on that. You guys should just totally join. But that's it for this video. Tell me how you guys feel about this type of format, just me sitting down talking about the episodes, talking about the characters. I feel like this will be a great way for us to just get deeper dives into the characters and the way that they think. With that being said, episode 7 is scheduled to come out next week, but before that, I'm actually going to drop a recap episode of episode 6, and that's going to be our Behind the Saige episode 2, which is going into the episode 6 recap. Then we're going to get episode 7 of the Teagan Saige voiceover series, and then I'm also going to do a recap of that episode. And for the people who have been asking me for the just straight gameplay episodes of Teagan Saige, I will be dropping that in the middle of the break. So just because there's going to be a month break between episode 7 and episode 8 does not mean that there's going to be a break in content, which I have been telling you guys. So I don't want anyone to be worried that me not putting out an episode for a month means that there's going to be a break in content. That's not that. But anyways, I hope that you guys enjoy y'all's week. It's about to be summer. Is it summer yet? Summer starts this month. It's June 1st when I am recording this. But yeah, tell me how you guys feel in the comments, and I'll talk to you guys soon.